Shalom. Salakia for the little false step that we just had. Where it's a learning process, and we're doing this on the fly. So, all praises to the Most High. We made it through another week in Babylon, another week of this captivity. That just means our salvation is a day closer, a week closer, and we see everything that's going on in the world right now. First off, just to get it out the way, all praises to the Most High. Let's give the Most High a round of applause because he took out a great enemy of the nation of Israel. A great enemy of the nation of Israel. How many countless Israelite blood and bodies was that woman responsible for? I'm from Belize, and to this day, her face is on our money. And I just seen a map of all the places that the Queen of England. First off, the Queen of England cannot be convicted of a crime, right? The Queen was what you call sovereign. There's a word for it, but she cannot be convicted of a crime in any area that's under her monarchy. So all the dead bodies that are responsible, where she tell them to go into Jamaica, and if these people don't want to lay down, just kill them. She can't be brought up on charges for that, So just the fact that the Most High took her out, because that's literally above the law. That is above the law. You can't even forget about getting found guilty of a charge. They can't even bring her up on a charge. So, that was the Most High doing that, and she's got a lot of bodies on them.
I wonder if she acted that way when Michelle put her arms around
God.
Don't touch me.
God. So I want to start in Matthew 24.
Britain's in turmoil too, man. Their economic system is falling apart.
Con.
Their gas is going through the roof. Electricity is going through the roof.
Exactly. Britain's been going through a lot. Britain has been going through a lot. But we see these things, and you can start. Let's run through Matthew 24, right? Yeah, let's, because this is great end time prophecy, and it's always good to go back into these. And these are the words of our King, our deliverer, in who we have hope of salvation, hope that we be redeemed by. Let's go.
Right. Reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
So we know this is talking about the destruction of the temple. Yahushua is telling them about the destruction of the temple. Go on.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be?
So they want to know, when is the temple going to be destroyed? Go on.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
And what? So this is two different things they're asking them. When will this temple be destroyed? And when is the sign of your coming? Go on.
And the end of the world.
And that's a third thing. So the sign of his coming and the end of the world. Go on.
And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And we've got lots of examples of this. Many false messiahs out there, claiming what is that? Jim Jones. He took the name right out of my head. That was exactly who I was thinking. Do you know? Speaking of Jim Jones, there's Heaven's Gates Club. Anyone ever heard of that? Do you know that this? I mean, you could Google Heaven's Gate Club. that was the group of people who took the cyanide because they said that the spaceship was coming and they had to leave their body. This one wasn't Jim Jones. This one was in the no. This is after Jim Jones. This one's is in the 90s when the
They found them all in their beds.
yeah, and they found them all in their beds, right? I was recently reading about these people and they're still in operation, right? And this is how you know Esau's the wicked of this world, right? Because they will come at the Hebrew Israelites, right? And say that they're a hate group and they'll this and they're that, right? But who have we ever hurt? We've never hurt anybody. We go out there and we read, thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Most High, right? We've never hurt anybody, but yet they got us on Southern Poverty Law Center's hate group list, right? Now you got a group like Heaven's Gate Club who has killed, I believe the number was 46 of them, mass suicide, right? Mass suicide in the mid to late 90s. And they are still able to operate as a group. But they're not on the on no watch list or hate group or nothing like that, right? They still can operate. And the reason they say is because they believe, so I don't want to get too much into them, but they said the last time in the 90s was when this comet was close enough to Earth's orbit. So they had to exit their vehicle is the terminology they use, meaning they had to give up the ghost. Their spirit have to leave their body so that they can catch this planet when it's orbiting nearby Earth so that they could get on this next planet. Well, this group believes that that planet is going to come back around again, and they're recruiting another group of people to exit their body. But they can operate above ground, you know? You see the wickedness in Esau, right? But these people are, again, false messiahs, right? Because that's nowhere in the Bible. You know, they mistake deliverance that you see in Thessalonians for that, you know, like for mass suicide. Like, no, the Most High is going to come, send forth, and he's going to deliver us out of there. You know, but I recommend anybody, you want a good laugh, definitely look up. They have a website, everything. They have charter members, everything. Look them up and you'll see their, what do you call it? Like their mission statement. Read about it. It's a good laugh, man. It's a really good laugh. And
I didn't even know they were still.
Yeah, they're still an operational organization.
How did you find them?
I was listening. No, I was listening to one of them talk to. I was on Clubhouse, and one of them was talking about. You know, he was talking about the Bible and how they're quote unquote Bible based, and you know they were talking to an Israelite, and you know the scriptures say that Esau's tongue is gonna fall on him. And the brothers was just getting them to reveal more and more. So as I hear more, I start Googling it, and it's right out there. The information is there. They're not hiding it. It's just that they don't actively recruit like we go on Front Street. But where are the you know, these are false messiahs that Yahweh said will come.
Their website.
Yeah, read that. Their mission statement is right there. They believe a second. The second meteorite is coming, and they're looking for people who are, and the terminology that they use, which is so hilarious, is exit their vehicle. They are looking for more people to exit their vehicle. You ask them what that means, they're looking for more people to mass suicide. But let's get back to that scripture, right? So say verse 6.
Yeah. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So this is talking about when Yahweh is coming back. You'll hear wars and rumors of wars. And we in that time right now, we see everything is about so that China just recently switched off. They're no longer buying oil with the American dollar. This is a declaration of war. They're now buying oil with the Russian, I can't remember the name of their money, but they're now using that to buy oil. This is a declaration of rubles, right? This is a declaration of war because America doesn't get a cut no more. America can't tax that because they're no longer involved. These are rumors of war. You know, when a big world power like China with a 1 million-man army and a 1 million-man reserve says we're not going to use the American dollar to purchase oil anymore, this is you know, for us little people, you know, it seems like it's not doesn't involve us, but that in a world stage like that, that is a declaration of war against America. So this is rumors of war, right? Go on.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places.
And we see all of these things come in the past. Go on.
All these are the beginning of sorrow.
And this is, so all of these things that we're seeing come to pass, this is just the beginning of sorrows. This is what's going to actually lead us to that Jacob's trouble. This is what, we're not actually there yet. So this is just saying it's the beginning of the sorrows that's to come. Go on.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
And when that time comes, they're going to say, hey, you brother with the fringes, come on. You're the one who's stirring up trouble out there, telling people their judgments, telling these nations their judgments, saying the white man is the devil the Bible speak of. They'll deliver you up to the judge. Go on. Deliver you up to be afflicted. Go on.
And shall kill you.
And a lot of us are going to lose our lives for this. A lot of us are going to lose our lives for this. You know, one thing, you know, I always say, like, I like to deal with fate scriptures because it's easy for us right now. Not easy. It's a challenge for us as is, you know, but it's not the hard part yet to say, okay, we believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. We put our faith in him. But it's going to be another thing when they come looking for you. Like there's a few blocks right over here on, what's this, Bainbridge, the side street. A few blocks up, there's it's like a case with a sword inside of it. But on the top of it says United States versus the Israelites. This is like 2 blocks up.
Get out of here.
2 blocks up. If you walk on Bainbridge, you will see it. 2 blocks away from here, there's like and on top of the case, it's the eagle, and it's got the sword inside the case. Like someone has this in their yard.
What is this at? In the borough?
Right here. 2 blocks away from here.
Somebody's house?
Yeah, right in front of their house, they have like it's a case with a sword and an eagle on the case, and on like engraved in the case says United States versus the Israelites.
Must be in my household.
Khan, I've never seen the.
Jake wouldn't.
Khan, you know, every time I come in here and I pass it, I always see it, and I'm like, I've never seen anybody come in or out that house before, but yeah, Khan, it's like 2 blocks away, right on.
2 blocks away.
You see it again, take a picture.
Do they have a driveway?
Do they have a driveway? No. It's like a brownstone. It's a brownstone. Yeah.
We can park outside there and do something.
Khan.
A driveway would be home ownership, and no one unless nobody be trespassing on their property.
So lucky, I believe.
That's a city street, as long as we 8 feet away from their household.
Khan.
What you think?
I just okay. Look, I have it. I have a picture of it.
Oh, you got a picture?
Khan. Because I had took a picture of this a long time ago, from the first time I seen it.
I didn't see that. I didn't know it was like that.
But that's not
Right.
trespassing.
Yeah. Of course, it's not trespassing, but yeah. So I get. It's okay. We'll get to it whenever I get it. I'll send it to the group. Next time I pass it, I'll take a picture of it, send it to the group. So let's go back, right? So it says they'll deliver us and kill us. Go on.
And then shall many be offended.
Verse 9 again.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
For Yahweh's name's sake. And no one else is calling on that name. No one else is calling on that name. So we know that this is talking about us. It says for his name's sake. Because a lot of people think that, they're following Christ. The term Christian go back to a follower of Christ. So no one follows Christ's directions but the Israelites. No one calls on his name. No one lived by the tenets that he put out forward for us. The Christians don't. Christ said that in Matthew 5, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Then he also says, anyone who teaches, let me get that real quick. Matthew 5 and 17. Let's get that real quick. Mm-hmm.
Reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Uh-huh.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So Yahweh came to fulfill the law and the prophets. Go on.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
It says till heaven and earth pass, till that new heaven and that new earth comes. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. So nothing changed, nothing passed from the law. It's still there. It's still part of the law. Go on.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
And this is the point that I went there, right? Because this is a teaching of Christ. People so-called Christians don't follow this teaching of Christ. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. Go on.
And shall teach men.
And shall teach men.
So he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
So if you break them and you teach men to break them, you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
And it says, whosoever teach. Go on.
For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter the kingdom of heaven.
So when we take this all in the totality, right? No jot or tittle from the law will pass. Anybody who break them shall be called, and teach men to do so shall be called least in the kingdom. He that do them shall be called great in the kingdom. And it says, and unless your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees, you shall no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, whether the Pharisees taught the law, Yahweh also says, the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All that they tell you, all that they bid you, do it. But don't do what they do. Do what they say, don't do what they do. The Pharisees taught the law. Yahweh is telling you, do the law, right? But what's the problem with the Pharisees? They were hypocrites. They were telling people to do it, but they weren't doing it. So he's saying, unless your righteousness exceed that, so you don't only have to teach the law, you also got to do that law too. That's what it means. And so these Christians, just from that verse alone, they're not getting it. They're not getting the kingdom of heaven. This is how you know we are the true Christians. We are the true followers of the Messiah because we believe in his teachings, right? So let's go back to 24. For my name's sake, verse 10.
And then shall many be offended.
And every time we go out there and, we teach people according to the Bible, they're offended by it. They want the God of their own understanding, not the words that he left behind. Go on.
And shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Go on.
And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
And we had many since the time of Yahweh until now. We've had many false prophets rise and deceive many people. You got Muhammad, which is a lie, right? I got like I said, this class, it's just I'm going by, as the Spirit leads, right? I want brothers to hear one of the teachings of Muhammad, right? No. That's Elijah Muhammad, and that's a whole nother argument. If that's even Islam, But I want brothers to hear this. All right, calm.
Oh, I was going to that. I got you.
So, like I said, this is the madness in Islam, right? I want you to read this verse, right? We're gonna read something in the Quran. This is supposed to have been revealed by God, right? This is how we know, right? I want you to read this verse. This is from Surah 65, right? It's the 4th verse in Surah. You ask a Muslim this, right? Read. Can you see it? Yeah, read that.
As for your woman past the age of menstruation.
So this is talking about this surah is named the divorcement surah, right? So it says, as for the woman past the age of menstruation,
right? In case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months.
So you got once you give her that divorce, you got to wait 3 months. Go on.
And those who have not menstruated, as well as for those who are pregnant, their waiting period ends with delivery.
So now, marriage, right? This is a divorce. So for you to divorce somebody, that means you had to be married to them, right? So in that divorcement, it talks about a woman who's over the age of menstruation. So that's a senior, obviously, someone who's gone through menopause. They don't get menstruation anymore. Then he also mentioned a woman who has not menstruated yet. So you're telling me that according to the Quran, it is permissible, it is acceptable for you to marry a woman who has never had a menstruation yet. Let me break this down for you in layman terms. A girl that's under the age of 12.
Try 9. Because also when you check, there's something called flying. You heard of that?
No.
Yeah. Let me go right here.
You want to hear it?
Con.
Okay, with dying, marry a girl, she's 18. Your wife is like 8 or 9 years old. Now, you can't physically consummate the marriage. I'm sitting in the chair, right? I have an erection. She sits in the chair, you wrap her thighs around you, and you like this. That's called fine.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
how they consummate the marriage. Because in Yemen, when they have child bride, they be 8, 9 years old. You can look it up.
That is crazy.
So you can look it up on your computer, type in
How can you? I mean, let's speak as men, right? Does anybody in here feel okay with marrying off their daughter at the age before menstruation?
Who does that?
But according to the Muslims, this is the word of the Most High.
Well, they said Muhammad's wife was what?
9, yeah. According,
Look, they got a picture right here. Look, she's sitting on his lap, 9 years old.
Aisha, is it Aisha? They said he married Aisha at the age of 9 years old. This is false prophets. This is the false prophets that the Yahushua was talking about. He's talking about the Joseph Smiths.
You said that was 3065?
No, that surah I read, 65, Surah 65, verse 4.
Oh, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing here.
Yeah, 65 and 4. That's. So once because we go in the scriptures and we break down scriptures. So when you hear something like that and you break that down, like, what does that mean? That means anyone that you walk, I'm walking down the street with my daughter and I see one of the Ishmaelites looking at my daughter. My mind gotta go there. My mind gotta go there because your book that you subscribe to says that it's okay for you to do this. So you can't even watch my daughter. This is the false prophets that Yahweh Shah was talking about. Go on. Let's get back to Yahweh Shah.
All right. And shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Mm-hmm.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
Mm-hmm.
And because
Go ahead.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
And that's what we're in right now. This is, when you go out, I heard Ash said it about last week's class. He said, when we're about, even if we're not wearing our tassels, our fringes, people see there's something different about you, and you know what that is that consciousness in our mind of sin, the fact that we're conscious of sin, so we walk circumspect. People recognize that in you.
It's also a spirit of life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are dead and deep wrapped up into whatever their situation is. But they see us on not on the level of Yahweh Shah, but they see crackling life around them. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what I.
Nah, that is 100%. I want to get a scripture to back that up, right? Because the scriptures say that the law, statutes, and commandments is our wisdom, right? So I'll read this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 1. It says, "Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed." Because we know we're privy to inside information. We see we're not just carnal beings. We see the spiritual side of things too. So it's like we're not chasing the carnal. You see the spiritual and you understand the spiritual. So somebody can see you and be like, I don't know what it is about that brother, man, but something different about him. That they'll recognize it, and this is what it is, because the iniquity is abound in this world. Everyone's chasing their own. When Paul said, the weapons of our warfare is spiritual, not carnal. This is our weapon. We're weaponizing our faith, because we're fighting these spirits, because that spirit of, just whatever debauchery, whatever sin, like I'll use myself as an example. When I'm at work, I could be having a good conversation with brothers, then all of a sudden somebody start talking about, man, I want to go hit this lick, and I want to go make some money, and I want to go smoke this, and there's like my whole countenance change, because I love my people. I love my people. I love being around my people. I feel like we have the greatest spirit of all people. Like we could take nothing and joke and the richest Edomite in the world, the richest one, can never have that spirit that's on us. Even the poorest Jake, the Jake that's down and out, that glee. We could be listening to music and that spirit take over us, and you in another world, and you look up and you see everybody looking at you, envious of you, because they're envious of the gifts that the Most High gave you, that spirit that He gave us. So even them, all the richest one, he would gladly trade place with you. He would gladly trade place with you, because he knows that we have that spirit of the Most High, that we're the people of the promise. His time is only for a short time.
That's right.
So let's get back to it.
Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end.
And that's the most important thing that we have to do. We have to endure. We have to endure. The stamina. It's not a race. It's not a race. There's a saying I used to have in the world, and I apply it to the truth too. That a lot of people don't die from starvation, but they die from indigestion, right? And what that means is that they're taking on too much at once. And so when we come to this truth and this understanding, we try to take the whole law on, and you die from that indigestion. You can't take it on, you take it like a rung, a notch in your belt, one step by step. Like, okay, I kill that urge for pork. That's a check mark. Now I'm gonna that seafood, that shrimp. I'm gonna put a check mark on that. That Sabbath, I'm gonna put a check mark on it. As you conquer different parts of the law, take on more and more. Don't try to just take it all in. You're gonna burn yourself out. Next thing you're gonna be talking about the Sabbath is Mondays. You're gonna burn yourself out. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Go ahead.
One of the things I like to always bring, there's something I remember this, like something gets close to something I remember that. And the times that we're living in now, in order for us to get more understanding, we gotta go back to our past and see the things that all the disciples, all the prophets, Moses, whatever all they went through. Because the scripture says this. It says, this is Romans 15th chapter, the 4th verse. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. So we have to always not dwell on today. We have to go back to the past and see what they dealt with. What the disciples dealt with. Because we want to go through this. We're not going to just, so it says, I'm reading again. It says, whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So we have to ask ourselves, is that right? Because we want to experience things that we have not really gone into yet. We talk about something, but the things we have to grow on, it's a lot of stuff. And then we want to lead into the kingdom. And like I was talking to the brother, we're going through this because the Most High is going to say, don't do it no more.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, wow, that's how precious we are. We're the wealthy ones. The Most High is saying, don't do this no more. So we have to go back and prepare ourselves for what's going to happen in these next couple of days, months, weeks. What are we going to go through?
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot coming up, and
it's not going to be long.
It's going to be intense. I don't think it's going to be long, but it's just going to be intense. Like the Most High is like slowly cranking up the dial. Turning up that pressure cooker. And that pressure is starting to bubble. We see ramifications of it bubbling. It's almost to that point where the top explode off of it and everything just spill out, But again, I'll go back to the example. Let's go to Job chapter 1. Because we got to use the example, as you said, for all things was written for our learning. So through hope of the script, we might have hope. So let's start at 20. Now, we don't want to go through the whole example. We all know Job was afflicted, right? But let's see what Job did when he was afflicted.
Reading from the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Most High gave, and the Most High hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Most High.
So it says, Job arose, rent his mantle. A lot of time we see this in the scriptures talk about people rent their mantle. The Most High said, rent your heart, not your garment, right? So he said he wanted contrite heart, So this was something that we do, like, smite our chests and plead to the Most High. So Job rent his mantle, shaved his head, that's a custom that people would do when they're in mourning. His family literally died, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped. So even in all this, he lost his property, he lost his house, and it says he was a wealthy man before. So he lost a lot. And what did he do? He worshipped. In that time of trouble, if anybody can take anything from, you ever know Yahusab, let this be something that you think of me, that it's something that I always think about. What are we going to do in that time of trouble? All this is great. All this is great. Don't get me wrong. All this is great. But this is preparation for that time of trouble. When that time of trouble comes, there's going to, and I'm sure it's happened before with many people who have fallen out of the truth. It's happened with many people who, when that time of trouble comes, because of pressures of this world, your ribs say, this ain't working, and we know women, man, they got that power. They got that power to be in your ear, but we gotta remember, the Most High says that the men are the flock of his congregation.
That's right.
The Most High is dealing with you, and through you, he's gonna deal with her.
Wow.
It's similar to with Adam and Eve. Eve was deceived. Eve gave Adam the fruit to eat. When the Most High seen it, he didn't go to Eve. He went to Adam. Adam, what hast thou done? Through Adam, he's dealing with Eve. The Most High is not the author of confusion. He set up his order. So even though with all the troubles of the world, your ribs, your kids, whatever telling you, man, forget this Israelite stuff. You need a job. You need to just go take that vax and go. Nah, in time of trouble, we have to face the east. Throw up some prayers. Like Job said in the next verse. Read 21 again.
And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb.
He had nothing when he was born. Go on.
And naked shall I return thither.
And he ain't going to have nothing when he died. Go on.
The Most High gave.
The Most High is the one who gave him everything.
And the Most High have taken away.
And the Most High take it away.
Blessed be the name of the Most High.
Blessed be the name of the Most High. This is what you do in the time of trouble. If anybody take anything that I ever teach, man, I pray that you take that. We're always remember in mind, Yahusab saying, what are we going to do in the time of temptation? In that time of temptation. Because it's something that I meditate on a lot. It's perfectly fine right now to be like, I'm an Israelite, to wear my fringes, to study the scriptures, and when we're not like, yes, the water's like 85 degrees right now. Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not boiling hot. What are we gonna do when it gets boiling hot? This is when we gotta remember, like Shabbat said, that all things is written for our learning. So when we get that hour of temptation, because I'm sure at that time Job felt it was boiling, man. He done lost his kids. He done lost his wife. He done lost all his possession. He done got boils on his skin. So he didn't just lose everything. Now it's in his skin. He's getting plagued. He felt like, it's hot in here, But what did he do? He worshipped, and this is what we're supposed to do. You had something, y'all?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and even his, like you were saying, about he even jumped twice.
That's true.
Yeah. And we see this in the scriptures. It's a common theme. Ahab, his wife Jezebel, she was He's, again, the examples in the scriptures. So we get the righteous example in Job, and we get the wicked example in Ahab. Don't be Ahab. Be Job.
Like I read scripture earlier, it says things that were written before.
Come.
So now you go all the way back to Job. Remember, Job was chilling.
Come.
Remember that song? Job was chilling. Look, he
Yeah.
was chilling.
Yeah, come.
Most Satan came. Remember the angels came.
Yeah.
And then Satan came, and he said, "What do you think about Job? I can't mess with him."
Yeah. He said, the devil said, Most High, you put a hedge of protection around him. Of course he's gonna be good. Of course he's gonna worship your name. What if you take away that protection, though?
Most High said, "You do this."
Exactly. Come.
Because the Most High knew, for our example, everything that he went through. One of us may go through that.
Everything
And
that.
that's the examples that we have. First, when we read the first and the second chapter. That's what we went through. So you say, why is it there now? Because some of us are going to go through that.
Come.
We're going to lose wives, job, money, house, all this stuff. So the most I'll put you in here because in the last days, some of us will experience it.
Come. And Salakia, Yahavashah also said, let me see this. I want to find this verse. Read that.
Read it from the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Most High. And Satan came also among them.
2 and 1, come. Go on.
He came
to present themselves from the Most High.
and you see
Before
that
the
whole
Most High.
Come.
You have the angels there that come to the earth, they go all over, and it's Satan. It's the same thing. In the same scenario that Job went through, it's almost what to say. We don't know, don't realize.
So I want to get Luke chapter 9, right? Because this is like, I tell people, especially people that's supposedly in this walk, right? The devil has no interest in Jake in the street. He already got him. There's no fun in that. Jake is already wicked. Jake is already doing what the devil want him to do. The devil prize is you. You're the prize that the devil wants. You're the one he wants. Because Jake in the streets, he already got him. He wants you. He wants to subvert your mind, right? Let's go 9 and 62. Luke 9 and 62.
Read it from the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 62. And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
So Yahushua said, no man that set his hand to the plow. This is a metaphor or a similitude to say, no man that's put forth to do the work, to come and do this work of the Most High and look back. No man that do that is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. So they know, I went through an Israelite phase, but now I'm out of that. Then you're not fit for the Most High. Then you're not fit for the kingdom. That's what Yahushua is saying, And again, going back to the scriptures, giving that example, Lot's wife. We got the verse. Hey, LeBron, what verse is that? Remember Lot's wife?
Luke 17 and 34.
Luke 17 and 34. All praises, man. I know you knew that one because 32. 17 and 32. Because I know that's one of your verses,
17:32.
Luke 17, 32.
Read it from the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 32. Remember Lot's wife.
And these are examples that we have to use, right? Because that's going again to what Yahushua said. No man put his hand to the plow and look back is fit for the kingdom. The Most High, and we use this as a similitude because the Most High told Lot through the angels the destruction that's coming to Sodom and Gomorrah. And he told them to flee the city. The Most High was dealing with Lot and his family. his wife look back. She's not fit for it. She's not fit for this salvation of the Most High. She's looking back, and this is something that we deal with, because the Most High, the Most High draw us out of this world. He drawed you out of this world, and you looking back into this world like, I miss the days I used to go to the clubs Friday night. I miss the days when I could go to the Chinaman and give me pork fried rice. You know, I miss the days of shrimp scampi and lobster tails. You know, this is looking back into the world. You know, I miss the days when I could just have promiscuous sex with women, lawlessness, perverseness. You know, this is looking back into the world, because we think that all of this is better than what the Most High got plans for you. The Most High got plans for you, right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10. Let's Salakia start Hebrews chapter 6. Let's start at verse 4.
Reading from the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, verse 4. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened.
So if you become enlightened of this truth, go on.
And have tasted of the heavenly gift, and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit. And have tasted the good word of the Most High, and the powers of the world to come.
He's saying, so once you get this truth and you see the enlightenment, you know, you get this enlightenment that you're not a nigger from New York, you're a prince of this earth, you know, that the whole world was made for your sake. And you see that this kingdom that the Most High promised to you and your progeny, you know, once you get this, go on, verse 6.
If they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucified to themselves the Son of the Most High afresh, and put him to an open shame. So
if the Most High dealing with you and you go back, now you got to seek that repentance again. You know, now you got to seek that. It's like, what profit did it knowing? And you know, this is something that I again, another teaching strong point that I make is, when we go out there on the streets, right, and you get these scamper bars, like, you get quick to throw up the right arm, brother, good word, yeah, I know I'm an Israelite, and keep it pushing. What profit is that to you? That's no profit to you at all, that you know you're an Israelite. That is an unprofitable thing, that you know you're an Israelite. If you're not living by it, if you're not doing it, you know, if you're not trying to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, faith in Yahushua, faith in your deliverance, what's the point? This is unprofitable to you. You know, there's a guy, he was famous in the Israelite community. His name is Courtney Bell. He's a truth rapper, they call it, right? This brother, you know, he made waves within the community. Follow him online, you see he make a lot of his music that he was putting out to the people was all like truth based, you know. We Israelites, the Most High this, the Most High that, right? Now this brother recently signed a deal with this rapper Royce the 5'9" to his label. A guy put him on the Joe Budden podcast. The Joe Budden podcast has 1 million of followers, right? So now Courtney Bell, a truth rapper, gets there, and what do he do when he gets on there? He start talking about different gods and unlocking his kundalini. This is let's go to Matthew chapter 4. This is madness, right? This is madness because he got a little buzz by the community. We uplift him. We uplift him because he's a good rapper, and he's rapping stuff that we want to hear, you know. But now that you get a little bit of clout, you know. Let's read Matthew chapter 4, verse. One second.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
You know where I'm going?
about. Yeah, I think.
Start verse 8. Nah. Let's start at verse 1.
Okay, come. Reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
So, you know, and we as Yahushua, as a nation of Israel, Yahushua is the example. Everything that he went through, we'll go through. Every single thing, you know. Temptations, all that, you know. So he was tempted of the devil, right? Go on.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungry.
So this is the point that I'm saying, is that the devil doesn't care about Ray on the block. Ray on the block, they're selling nickel bags. The devil doesn't care about him. The devil cares about you. So you doing this work, the devil is gonna come and tempt you. He's gonna, you not even the work, just the life. You trying to come out that old life, and the devil is gonna come and tempt you, right? And and I believe that brother Courtney Bell was tempted of the devil. He's putting out this vibration of Yahushua. The devil is coming. The devil comes in many forms. The devil comes in the form of that friend that you used to have a good time with when you was a teenager. You had those wonder years. So I can give me 1 second. You had those wonder years as a teenager, and you felt so good. And now this friend comes back around. You just happen to be walking around and you see him. Hey, brother, what you doing? You want to come and hang out with me? And you want to reminisce. Well, guess what? That's the devil right there luring you into the trap. Because when you reminiscing with this friend, there comes that sin is going to come in. That offer of sin, that temptation is going to come in. You had something, LeBron?
Well, that's because you only know him for the dirt you did.
Con.
So if he didn't change, you're right about that. But I wanted to say about the guy Courtney.
Yeah.
Remember, when these entertainers and all of these people that making this crazy money, whether they're rappers, ball players, or whatever, it's not a surprise when they get that introduction to that dark side.
Con.
They actually have to give up their vows. They have to take oath to do what they do. Just like case in point, without being lengthy. This brother named out of St. Louis, the lunatics, St. Lunatics.
Nelly.
Remember when Ferguson was on fire with all that?
Yeah,
He's from
yeah, he's
Missouri.
right from there,
But
from there.
part of the oath is that you cannot help.
Con.
You can't help. You can't talk about it.
I believe if you're right too,
Yeah,
people
right.
were calling them out. People were calling them out about this. Like,
Yeah, they got something called the 10 rap commandments, and I'm not talking
yeah,
about baby
the crack
No.
commandment. Yeah.
It's the 10 hip hop commandments. It had nothing to do with what Biggie said.
Mm-hmm.
It's what 10 things that they can't do. They can't be in political marches. They can't talk religion. And they cannot. And they supposedly not supposed to financially help you. That's why the men were told by commandments to call the girls bees and whores, and the female rappers call us weak, puny. That's part of their commandments.
We supposed to hate ourselves.
Yeah.
And you know, the brother said, you know, and I say all this to say, right? The Most High can draw you in, use you to get who he wants, and then spit you out. you know, but he could also bring you back again. Because I've known of people who left and came back, right? So the thing is the brother's on the interview, and he's saying he does psychedelic drugs, and he talks to angels and different spirits. Yeah, you know, and this is why you know, so you know the devil, as I said, you know, he's tempting you, and it comes in many forms. Whatever your desire is, believe me, the devil gonna offer it to you. You know, you want women, the devil gonna come to you. You want money, the devil gonna come to you and offer it. You want fame, the devil gonna come to you and offer it. And this is stuff that we have to bear in mind, you know. Let's get back to it. Verse 3.
And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread.
He said, what did it call him again?
The son of Yahweh.
No, the first part of that verse.
And when the tempter.
That's what the devil is, tempter. Because you know that there's an old Christian saying the devil's power is suggestion. That he doesn't really have any power over you. He can only give you the idea. Like, why don't we go hit this lick?
Right.
You know, the devil can't make you do it.
No.
He could give you the idea.
Right.
He tempts.
Wilson and Geraldine was alike.
What he said.
His favorite line was the devil made you.
No, the devil tempted you to do it.
Dressed in drag.
Wow.
No, I'm just saying.
And he said the devil made him dress in drag?
He did some dumb stuff as so-called Geraldine. And then when he did it, he clapped his hands and said the devil made him do it. So he was lying there.
Yeah, calm.
One of the first transvestites, especially black. And that was in the 70s.
Calm.
That's 50 years ago.
And that go back to, you know, what we were saying, that temptation, you know, like and when we understand like our plight in this country, right? And we have to understand this, right? That we're here on punishment. We're here on punishment at the end of the day. And time out, right? The Most High put us on time out. And he said that he's going to make us have to serve these other nations in the want of all things, right?
Well, we look. I'm not gonna touch you, but and their gods.
And their gods, right? So one thing is, we're not going to get too far ahead, right? Without, somebody's at the door, right? We're not going to get too far ahead. And if we do get too far ahead, guess what? We made a deal with that devil. We made a deal with that devil to get that far ahead, right? So let's go to verse 4.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
And this is what our people are supposed to be saying when those happen, right? Go on.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple.
So the devil took him to Jerusalem, set him on top of the pinnacle of the temple. Let's see what he tell him.
And saith unto him, if thou be the son of Yahweh, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee.
See, the devil know the scriptures. This is in Psalms, right? This is in Psalms that's the devil is quoting. The devil's not just quoting the law. You know, Psalms. You know, he go deep into this book. Go on.
And in their hands shall they bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh shall said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the other one thy power.
So we're not supposed to tempt the Most High. But this is the part right here that I want to go to.
Verse 8, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world.
So the devil took him up, and we see this today, right? Take him up to exceeding high mountain. You know, mountains in the scriptures symbolically means kingdoms, nations. So he took him to this great nation. He showed Yahushua this great nation. And he said, all the kingdoms of the world. And he said, go on, verse 9.
And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
So he's going to give him power over this kingdom, as if he worship him, right? And this is what our people fall for, they fall for this power in this kingdom. They want and at the end of the day, man, what they become is they become the example to keep the rest of the sheep in line. So if I'll use Jay-Z for an example, if Jay-Z, perfect example too, because before I came in, I was a big Jay-Z fan. I still listen to some of his music, right? And Jay-Z said in the 90s, he said, no more jerseys. He said in the 90s, no more jerseys. People stopped using jerseys. Jay-Z said, we're going to use button-ups. People started using button-ups. Jay-Z said, we're not drinking this, we're going to drink this. People started drinking this. This is the power that the Edomites gave to Jay-Z, to sway the mood and minds of the people. So Jay-Z has that power from the devil to control a lot of people, and go ahead, love.
I just wanted to go back a little bit. Talking about the same thing. Power shot. I remember I was a vision he saw. He saw all the kingdoms.
All the kingdoms.
It wasn't just this kingdom. He took them into a vision spiritually, and he saw all the kingdoms up until now. Right, in order of the takedown, And so he saw that. That's why what his response was, Hawashi's response was real deep. It wasn't just the Romans as far as back then. It was all the kingdoms up until now. And he said, he's a liar, but he said, I'll let you run all of these, which was a lie. But like modern day, these brothers and sisters that sell that we say sold out, they get what they get, but that's still a lie. Because they're not, remember, Satan's kingdom is temporary.
Kanye West, right? I'll give a quote from Kanye West, one of his songs. He said, I sold my soul to the devil in a crappy deal, but at least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
Wow. You know why he said that, right? Because how did he sell his soul?
He killed his mother.
God.
He killed his mother.
Okay, exactly. Thou shalt honor thy mother.
So he gave her up, and after she died and he saw what it was, we had a joke about it. So people don't understand that they actually sell their souls.
Rakanai? You had something, Rakanai?
No.
Oh, okay, come on.
He said he sold his soul.
He said,
with a few toys.
He said, I sold my soul. I sold my soul to the devil in a crappy deal, but at least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He said it, like he put it in a song. And like,
but people, a lot of that stuff go right over their head because of people.
Like, I mean, I like I said, I used to like a lot of rap, And from the time I heard this is way before I was even in the truth. I'm like, whoa, that's not something you even joke about. Like, like, wow.
They laugh at it because our people are asleep. They don't understand how truthful they're being.
Con. But let's see what Yahushua answered him. Verse 9. Verse 10.
Then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the other one, thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So
this is how we answer them. We can't get greedy. We can't, expect too much, So I just want to go into one last thing because it's going to be a short class, it's almost that time. Get the Apocrypha on Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. So Yahushua, he's the example. He's the GOAT. not Salaki. He's the sheep. He's the lamb. He's the Sirach chapter 2 verse 1.
Reading from the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the outer one, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
So it says, if you come to serve the Most High, prepare for temptation. We got to understand that. We got to remember that temptation, it's coming, man. It's definitely coming. You might get, and they come in many different ways. You might get a abundance of money coming in, right? And you might think, okay, everything is good. Then that money's gone. And so now you got accustomed to being a certain way. And that money goes, and now you're thinking, damn, I'm going to have to go back and get it how I used to get it. This is temptation. You might think temptation comes in so many different forms. That's why Peter said, be sober and vigilant. For the devil, for your adversary, like a lion, goeth about seeking who he can devour. So we got to be vigilant in this. We got to sober minds. Sober minds. And you got, go ahead.
Yeah, and James just says, consider it all joy.
Can count it all joy. Diverse temptations. So it's like a game, it's a game. It is a game at the end of the day, right? If the devil ain't tempting you, if temptation ain't coming your way, I'm going to speak frankly, right? You got to question what's going on in your life. Am I doing what is required of me if temptation isn't coming my way? Because if temptation ain't coming your way, that means the devil got you. You're not even aware of the temptation. That means the devil got you. You got to be mindful of the temptation when it comes so that you could be like, I see what you're doing. Stiff arm the devil. Like, hold on. Like, be aware of the temptation that's coming around you, because a lot of time, man, you walking around and, you see Eve and they throw themselves at you like, brother, got the everything out, man. You can see eyes through the shirt, everything, like everything. And it's there. Temptation is always around, so we got to be circumspect, walking around circumspect, understanding that, what? We are, I hear Abraham say, this world is a movie. This is a movie, and we the main stars in this. And the plot of the movie is can you endure? Can you keep what you have? Can you keep what you have? More affliction? Affliction, and even the affliction is a form of temptation. The affliction in itself, is a form of temptation. Like, you dealing with all these aches and pains, and to be able to, all praises to the Most High. I wanna read the last scripture for the night. It's a series, but let's go to Matthew. I believe it's chapter 6, verse 9. Right, and again, we have to bear in mind what Yahweh Shah said, man. Because Yahweh Shah, he really is, in John, as he say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. And Yahweh Shah give us the blueprint. So let's read this.
Reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore pray ye.
So it says, after this manner, pray ye. So when we do our Sabbath service prayers, we run through a series of prayer, and we always say this prayer.
Let us start with 8.
All right, go on. Start at verse 8.
Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him.
Let's start a little higher, Salakia. Let's start a little higher, just for context. Let's start at verse 5.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets.
And when I first came in the truth, man, there was like, I was downtown Brooklyn, and these Edomites, they had this little canopy set up. And I was walking downtown, and they stopped me, and they're like, hey, do you mind if, they pray for me? And I couldn't for the life of me remember this verse, man, like, because I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, but didn't Christ speak against that? And they were like, yeah, he was talking about the hypocrites, but we're not hypocrites. But I couldn't remember this verse to just bring it out. They wanted to pray for, they were standing out there praying for people. They're standing in the middle of downtown Brooklyn in Fulton Street. Edomites. Yeah, a bunch of Edomites, like 4 of them. Like missionaries they come to the black neighborhoods and want to give us salvation, like that's the pride in his heart, that we're gonna do a good thing for these niggers, But come on, let's go. For they love
to pray, standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
It says they're going to have their reward. That's their reward. They want to be seen of men. That's all that they're getting. Their prayer not even being answered. They have, Yahushua said, they have their reward. So that's for in vain. So they already got their reward. Everything that they're praying for is in vain. You got your reward right there. You're seen of men. Go on.
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet. And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father, which is in secret. And thy Father, which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly.
And this is what we're supposed to do. We keep our prayer. Our prayer is a direct connection through Yahushua to the Most High. We asking, this is powerful, man. This is powerful. I'm a strong, how you say it? I'm a strong person that believe in the power of prayer. I 100%, 150% pray on it. When you prayed on it, pray on it some more. Pray on it, like pray. First Thessalonians say, pray without end, ceasingly without ending. Go on.
Real quick, the prayer of Matthew 6 and 9, that's a transient prayer. It's a transient contract for one day. Con. It's a one-day contract.
Man, I love Yahushua's teaching because also I believe it's in Luke, also in chapter 6. I believe it's in Luke chapter 6. He says, sufficient is the troubles of today for today. So what you worried about tomorrow for? Let's get through today. Yahushua is so deep, man. Like, you can't. Let's go on.
But when ye pray, use not vain repetition.
So don't keep just over and over and over saying, please, like, nah. Get to the point. You know how many Israelites the Most High said there is? He said he'll make us as the sand of the sea. Get to the point. He got a lot of requests to take.
That's right.
Go on.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father, which art in heaven.
No. Verse 7 again.
But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do. For they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. And
these people, man, they got these long-winded prayers, man. Like, get to the point. That's how you know the Most High is like us, man. Because anybody telling you some long-winded story like, hey, Shabbat, brother, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. I got on the bus and there was like 5 people there, and then I got off the bus. Like, get to the point, brother. The Most High saying the same thing. Don't be telling, no, Abanawa, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. Then don't start telling them about everything else. Get to the point. What is it that you calling my name for? Most High just like us, man. I mean, calling my name and telling me some long-winded story. Get to the point. You call.
The worst ever. that walk.
That weep prayer, that banging there. Come on, man. Let's go.
After this manner, therefore pray ye,
Mhm.
Our Father, which art in heaven, holy be thy name.
Uh-huh.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
So we're praying. We start off with an introduction. Our Father, Abinawa, which art in heaven, Shabbat Shemayim. Hallowed be thy name. Kwadash Haya Shamka. Go on.
That beginning, that opening, introduction is glorifying the Most High.
We giving him his props.
Glorifying.
We're glorifying his name. His name is holy, set apart.
Gotta break that down, but that's where
It says hallowed, they translated it as hallowed be your name. But we know it's talking about holy. His name is holy, set apart. His name is one of a kind. Right? Holy be thy name. Thy kingdom come. We're praying that the Most High's kingdom come. And that's why a Christian, and double back to that point, a Christian don't know what the hell they're talking about. When they say this Lord's Prayer, they don't know what they're saying. They don't know what they're saying. They're praying that God's kingdom come. Well, when God's kingdom come, all these heathen nations are going to be in service to the Israelites. That's what that Edomite pastor is saying when he's saying the Lord's Prayer. He's saying, please let me be a servant to the Israelite. He's praying, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Let's go. Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
And we want the Most High's will to be done in earth as it is in heaven. Well, what's the Most High's will? The Most High's will is obedience. Obedience. It says the angels up in Psalms, it says the angels take joy in doing what the Most High says. They delight in doing his will.
That's another thing that the Christians don't understand. When you say that, we're the ones keeping the commandments. They're not even keeping the commandments. So why would they want his will
to be done? Exactly. You're a hypocrite.
They
Literally.
don't know what they're saying when they're saying this prayer. They have no concept of what it's about.
Exactly. This prayer is so deep. What Yahweh Shah is saying is so strong, and people don't, they just brush over it. Let's go. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. That is now verse 11.
Give us this day our daily bread.
He didn't say give us bread for tomorrow. He said give us this day our daily bread. You got some food to eat today? All praises to the Most High. We're going to worry about tomorrow. Go on.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our sins.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive people that sin against us. Yahweh Shah also teaches, and he goes into this. He says, how can forgive your brother? Because how can you expect your Father in heaven to forgive you if you can't forgive your brother? This part earlier dealt with the Christians. This part is more on us. That part is on us. We got to forgive our brothers, and this is something we walk a really narrow pathway, right? Because the scriptures do say open rebuke is better than secret love. But in our rebuking of our brothers, this cannot come from a place of malice. This has to be from a place of love. I'm going to rebuke my brother, but I'm going to also open that path for him to come back. For him to, you understand? Like, we love our brothers. He might be going off. We're going to rebuke him, but we're not going to hold it against him. Get right with the Most High, brother. I forgive you because your trespass isn't against me. Seek the forgiveness of the Most High. Let's go.
And lead us not into temptation.
There go again. We asking that he don't lead us into temptation. The temptation going to come, but let us not fall into the temptation. Go on.
But deliver us from evil.
For evil will come to you. This is a part of the walk. This is a part of the faith. Go on.
For thine is the kingdom.
It's Psalm for everybody.
For thine is the kingdom.
This kingdom that's coming isn't for men. This is for the Most High's kingdom. Israel is going to set up the Most High's kingdom. This is and when that kingdom come, and this is a thing that we as Israelites need to understand what the Most High's kingdom is gonna look like. What does the Most High kingdom look like? Most High's kingdom is gonna be all nations coming and bowing down to our God, to our power. All nations are gonna have to come and do it. Certain nations ain't gonna be allowed into the land, but best believe when Passover come, we gonna have viceroys, as you call it. People, Israel, going into all nations and making sure that they're doing the Most High's laws. When Passover come, them damn Canaanites gonna have to be keeping that Passover.
That's right.
And we gonna be checking in their household for any leaven in their household.
That's
We
right.
gonna be checking the population of the rats for the Chinese people, man.
God.
Like y'all eating some rats over here. We gonna be keeping the Most High's kingdom on earth.
That's right.
That means all earth is gonna be under the law of the Most High. That's what the kingdom is gonna look like. The kingdom is gonna look like we gonna have in Isaiah chapter 2, it says, from Jerusalem the law is gonna flow. How is the law gonna flow? We gonna go from Jerusalem into all these nations and put them under that rod. That's where the scriptures say, one shall give chase to 10 and 100 from 10. This is what it's talking about. Because when we go up in there, and that China man got him some cooked rat, and they see fringes walking through China, they gonna start running because they already know what time it is. This is what it's talking about. This is what we get glimpses of what the kingdom is gonna look like. But we got to meditate on these scriptures daily. Go on.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory.
And the power, Most High is the power and the glory, because we're going to make sure all these nations give glory to the Most High. How long is this?
Forever.
Forever. That's how long the Most High's kingdom is going to be. Forever. Amen. And amen means so be it. I'm at very last scripture. Let's get Joshua 1 and 8. And I'm going to close out with that.
Again, stop.
Mm-hmm.
See how you ended off with more glorifying the Most High?
We got to
glorify the Most High. You asked his prayer, and then he glorified
him again. Exactly. For yours is the kingdom,
one day
and the power, and the glory forever. So when we take these words like, man, forever, ever. Let's get Joshua 1 and 8, and we're going to close out with
Reading
that.
from the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. The book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
So we're not supposed to stop talking about this book. Go on.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
So we're supposed to meditate on this day and night. One thing, I started earlier saying the parts of the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, like repeating the part in Hebrew. And I'd be amazed with the Hebrew, because the words are just more powerful, man. Just more powerful. Even when we say Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Chad, Yahweh, our power, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Chad. How go? Yahweh is one. Yahweh is power. Yahweh is one. All praises. This is, we gotta understand these things, man. That the English translation is Hear, O Israel. Shema Yesha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanahu, Yahweh, Chad. Hear.
It says it in the prologue. Ecclesiastes, Sirach, the prologue in the beginning. Right before chapter 1. Let's go.
Our language get to the point. Yeah. Shema, hear, Yasha'Allah. Hear Israel. Yahweh, Allahayanahu. Yahweh, Nawa at the end of the word means our. It's a suffix with on the end of a word which gives our. So Alahaya, Nawa, our power. Yahweh, Alahaya, Nawa. Yahweh is our power. Yahweh Akkad, Yahweh one. You see how now the English is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. The Lord, like it's so much words. That's literally 8 words. Yahweh, Shema, Yasha'Allah. Yahweh, Alahaya, Nawa. Yahweh Akkad. 6 words in Hebrew. That's 6 words in Hebrew. But what is that? What is that in? That's Numbers.
Number 6 and 24.
Number 6 and 24.
No. Deuteronomy 6 and 4.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Let's see how many words it is in English. The blessing is in number 624. But it's the same thing. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. So it's basically the same thing, but there's more power, right? So it says we're supposed to meditate on this. And even if you don't got the scriptures with you, where you can't be reading when, like, for example, I'm at work, I'm riding, I can't read, but I could think about certain things in the scriptures. So I'm meditating on it even when I'm not with it. Go on.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Now it says that we may believe in all that is written there.
To all that is written.
No, what part? No, go back again. That thou mayest.
That thou mayest observe to do according.
Observe to do.
So,
according.
So all that is written therein.
Mm-hmm.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
And the best to be prosperous and the best success we can have is getting the kingdom. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Most High Christ be with you all. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah.